What's up, FitOn fam? We're live. Welcome on in. Now I'm gonna make one adjustment because guess what? I have my big screen up, and so I'm gonna have all of your questions up nice and big. Welcome on in. My name is Breann, and I am so excited to see all of you guys live. And I got a lot of stuff pulled up, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what to expect in these next 30 minutes. I see Heather. Hi, Heather. Hi, Edith. Hi, Jane. Hi, Carol. Hi, Gloria. You guys, thank you so much for carving some time out of your day. I'm here to both answer your questions and provide a little bit of value. And I do have all of the questions. So FitOn also shared all the questions you guys submitted. So in addition to lives, I also have questions here. We could probably chat for the next 24 hours, which, hey, maybe we can just see how long this stream will go. I'm just kidding. But I just give you a thumbs up that you guys can hear me. Volume levels are good. And you are so welcome. I am happy to do a Q&A for my FitOn fam. So here's what we can expect. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of an intro about me. I'm going to kind of give you some tips based on the sum of all the questions that I got that I think will add a lot of value. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start answering your questions. And I'll answer questions at the very end because there were a lot of questions about just specifically what my routines look like. So we're going to play it by ear based on all of you guys live because I want to prioritize your questions first. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick introduction of me. So my name is Breann. I am so grateful and feel so fortunate to be a part of the FitOn family. Truly feel blessed and to be able to connect with all of you guys. A little bit of history on me. I've actually been teaching for 22 years. Can you believe it? I started teaching at a very young age because I knew at a very young age that I loved moving my body. I started taking group exercise classes at age 15, but it didn't start there. I was actually doing VHS tapes with my mom in the living room when I was like 7. So I have been long time in the fitness industry, and that's what I did get my degree in, and I just feel so fortunate to be able to do what I love every single day. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the power. I'm going to give you guys some of my insight before I answer your questions on the power of consistency, focusing on form and mobility, and moderation. So a lot of the questions that I got from you guys are all around very specific, like what is the best workout? What is the best thing to eat? What is the best thing for this? And I just wanted to kind of start this whole Q&A off with a little bit of a message that let's do it together right now. Let's just take a big deep breath in together. Exhale together. And one more. And on this exhale, I want you to let go of all of these high pressure expectations of yourself and just full acceptance of yourself and love. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale and just let it all go. And the reason I want to start there is because consistency is going to be the biggest driver in your fitness. Consistency of moving your body, consistency of eating healthy, and consistency of just the really good habits that make us just really healthy people mentally and physically. So I just wanted to kind of start by saying that consistency and moderation and then just giving yourself grace is such an important piece of the journey because this is a fitness journey. So to get really excited about the fact that you are on a journey is kind of another starting point because you don't have to be perfect. And I think that a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves that we have to be perfect. We have to do the exact right exercise at the exact right time, eat the right thing. And I'm here to tell you that just showing up consistently, just pushing play, just doing a workout, just improving your diet over time is going to make the biggest changes. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. If you guys know me, goosebumps means that I'm in the right place at the right time, sharing the right message. So I'm so excited. So I just kind of wanted to kick off our Q&A today by just saying that giving ourselves grace and understanding that just showing up, and this is a journey and it's exciting, and you don't have to be perfect. I mean, just take the pressure off, right? Let's have some fun. So that's how I wanted to kick it off. And now let's go ahead and just dive in because you guys have a ton of questions. So I'd love to just start going through those. So let's see. I'm going to start with how do I get motivated? Hi, Alexis. Oh, I recognize a lot of you guys. I love it. Okay, so motivation, that kind of pairs with what I was just speaking about. Let's go ahead and just switch the mindset of you have to be motivated to you use motivation in the very beginning to create a consistent habit. Now, one of my go-to taglines is make health a habit. I'm gonna share a very powerful thing. Are you guys ready? You're gonna write this down. When you make something a habit, you no longer have to rely on motivation. And that might seem weird. You're like, no, I always have to motivate myself. Not as much, to be honest, because if you get it in your routine and you're just used to doing it, you don't have to call on motivation very often as you get further and further along because you're just so used to it. Our brains like those kind of patterns. Just like our brains don't really love change, if you make it a consistent habit, your brain's not gonna like the change. So guess what? I'm a perfect example of that. I love to move my body. If I don't move my body, I don't feel normal. So you wanna get to the point where you've created such a habit that it's just consistent. It's in your life and you don't even need to rely on motivation. So I get that question a lot. I got it a ton actually in the questions that FitOn shared with me. And so let's go ahead and just realize that consistency and showing up is going to be the cure-all where you don't need to rely on motivation, because I don't actually need to motivate myself to move my body because I love it, I crave it, it's part of my routine. That's a great question and a great way to kick it off. And thank you guys so much for all of you guys saying that you love my classes and giving me love. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for you and I am so honored to be part of all of your journeys. So it's truly my pleasure, truly. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll answer the next one. So what is my workout routine? So this is actually a really great topic because I get questions all the time where people say, you must work out like hours a day, like 3 hours a day, right? And I'm like, no, I don't. Do you think that we can have longevity if we're working out 3 hours a day? I mean, if you are an Olympic athlete and you're training for an event, yeah, you probably are, but you're also doing a lot of massage, a lot of mobility, and all this other stuff to counteract all of that training, right? But for everyday health and just feeling good and looking good, you don't need to train hours and hours a day. So I lift 4 to 5 times a week. My lifts can range from 20 minutes to 60 minutes, kind of depends on what muscle split I'm doing that day. And then for cardio, I do cardio for fun. So I teach a lot of live classes. I love kickboxing, dance. I love all that. So I really do my cardio for fun, and I also do HIIT because I like HIIT as well. And then I prioritize mobility like crazy. So I also mix in a little bit of daily mobility, whether it's 10 minutes all the way up to 30 sometimes, and that can include foam rolling, stretching. So I really am just active every single day. But I would say, to sum it up, my workout is probably anywhere from 45 to 90 minutes max if I do a lot of mobility, and that's it. And I really do prioritize my strength training because muscle is life. You want to be putting a lot of muscle on your body, and that also requires eating really healthy because you want to be able to sustain that muscle. So that's a great question. Let me keep going through some of these. These are all such great ones, and I want to try and get as many as possible. Another one about motivation, and I would say for consistency. So in order to create a habit, there's like this 21-day rule. I actually push it a little bit and I say, let's give it 30 days. So there's this 30-day magic. So if you can try to be consistent for 30 days, then you will kind of create that habit and then just keep building on it every month. And here's another tip. Here's another thing I do. I've done this for years. Every single month, at the beginning of the month, I will sit down and kind of evaluate my routines, and I will make little tweaks here and there because you want to go small. But if you're making little tweaks every single month and letting them hold and then building upon that, man, your life will transform. Think about it, 12 months of that in 1 year. So just being consistent and then really paying attention to the habits that you have and what you do really do make such a huge difference. Let's see. How much do I recommend that you work out a week? Okay, so this is actually a question I also get quite a bit. And it's gonna be one that everybody's like, well, it depends. And here's why. Because everybody is at a certain stage and that's your starting point. So here's what you do. You start slow and then you slowly build. So you wanna do something that's manageable for your body. And a lot of times in the beginning, you know, there's this like out of the gates, I wanna work out so much every single day, and then you get burned out, right? So just start infusing movement into your day every single day, and it doesn't have to all be high intensity. Going on a walk is actually a great way to get low intensity cardio in, but just start moving your body. Don't feel like you have to crush yourself, and then just slowly over time start to build up from there. I also will kind of recommend this as well. in order to see change, so I mentioned that I prioritize my strength. In order to see change in our bodies, you actually want to hold with a strength routine or splits. So say you pick like 3 to 4 strength workouts. You want to hold that for a period of time, anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, because you want to be able to progressively overload and you want to be able to build and actually see the results. So that's one thing that I do recommend. I know it's fun to kind of pick a new workout every single day. And yes, that is also fine, because if you're just moving for general health, all good. But if you are trying to focus specifically, so for example, I got some questions about how do I tone my core or how do I train my glutes? If you really want to focus on an area, you want to stick with the routine for that muscle group for a period of time where you can actually see the change and really work on form and just build upon that. So that's another way that really make your workouts work for you. So to answer your question, it depends. You just want to really work with your body, and it's really hard. I can't give really a blanket recommendation because it is so individual. But isn't that the most beautiful thing about us as individuals? We are unique. So here's another thing I want to share. I have so much I want to share. I know Sarah's watching. We're probably going to have to do this again and again and again. Just kidding. But we are unique, and our bodies, we always want to meet ourselves where we're at. And you don't need to kill yourself in the beginning, because there's a thing such as newbie gains. So you want to actually do the minimum effective volume. I know I'm going to throw out these like terms. The minimum effective volume, that's where you want to actually start, and then progressively increase from there. Because you want to take advantage of where you're at and then just slowly creep up, and you're going to see change in your body. So also, you guys, don't worry about the details so much. Just move your body and have fun and start to really enjoy and learn along the way. We are a study of one. You get to really dive in and just get to know your body. And that's a really exciting thing that I hope you guys can maybe take from today, that you are your own science experiment and you get to figure it out. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my gosh, Connie, congratulations on your 76 pounds. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. And then working on your arms, exactly what I just mentioned. Find an arm workout that you love, stick with it for 4 to 6 weeks, and you can pick a couple and do it each week, but really focus on improving your form, increasing your weight, and just really executing with solid form so that you get that full muscle recruitment and you will start to see change. Great question, and congratulations. Dances with hooves, I like that. How do I make my own workout routine? So I do the same thing as what I'm mentioning to you guys. I really do the same way that I look at my habits. I also strength train every single week, anywhere from 5, sometimes 6 days. And I focus on different areas of my body that I kind of want to bring up. And lately, I'll just kind of share what's been the most recent. Lately, I've really been working on mobility, because I have learned that mobility equals longevity, and you also get better results. So I've been really focused on my mobility lately, and scaling back and going slower and just really focused on form. It makes a big difference. Great questions. Let me see. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. I'm glad you like Tabata. I love Tabata. Tabata is amazing. Let's see, what else question-wise? Okay, so I see a question about calories, and it's a great segue to kind of chat a little bit about nutrition. So again, just like fitness, it's really difficult, and I would not be a fitness professional that was responsible if I said everybody should eat this many calories a day. It's really individual, but here are the things that I can tell you. You definitely want to make sure that you are eating enough calories. A lot of times when I work with clients one-on-one, the first thing that I'm doing is increasing their calories. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. You're like, wait a minute, if they're trying to lose weight. Yeah, but you know what? A lot of times everybody's eating too little, especially if you're moving your body. Imagine your body as an engine, as a car. Your car's not going to run very well if it doesn't have a lot of fuel. And in fact, our bodies are so darn smart that if you don't feed it enough fuel, it actually down-regulates the amount of energy it's going to give you for everyday life and for your workouts. So you want to be finding that sweet spot where you are getting enough calories to support your workouts. And then once you feel like you're in that comfortable spot, then you can just slowly stair-step down. But I guarantee you, if you start to fuel your body and then you focus on strength training, you are going to see results, hands down. And then here are kind of my top tips. So I did think a little bit about nutrition specific tips that I can give you, since I can't give you exactly how many calories to eat. Here are the things that I would definitely recommend. Prioritize protein. Prioritize protein at every single meal, and you don't have to eat 5 meals a day. Whatever you like to eat. Do you like to eat 2 meals? Do you like to eat 3, 4, 5, 6? Whatever it is, spread out your protein equally throughout the day. And protein recommendations are also going to be very individual because they're based on height, age, weight. Are you male, female, like muscle mass, everything. So there's a lot of different specifics there, but you just want to make sure you get enough protein. Prioritize your veggies. I include veggies at every single meal. So find ways to mix them in. If you find it hard because maybe you don't love veggies, mix them up in a smoothie and slam that first thing in the morning. You want to be able to get those vitamins and nutrients. So definitely prioritizing your vegetables. And then guess what? Carbs are not the enemy. You also need a good mix of carbs. But here's the thing with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates actually, you want to balance with your activity level. So, and that takes time to kind of understand. So I'll just give you an example. If there's a day where I'm not moving much, say I am in the car a lot or I'm traveling, I just know that I'm not moving as much. So I don't cut my protein, I don't cut my veggies. I might just eat a little bit less carbs. And you start to really get to know how your body feels. And I do that because my body's not moving as much. So you want to find balance, essentially. Another tip that I really think is important for nutrition is hydration. Oh, have you guys seen my gallon? This thing travels with me, and I forget how shocking it is. Sometimes people look at me like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's just my gallon water bottle. That is huge. Water is going to keep you energized. It's going to be able to really fuel your energy for your workouts. And also sometimes if you're dehydrated, you might confuse it with hunger. So drink your water. My biggest tip for getting water when you wake up in the morning, 16 ounces right off the bat. Just get up, drink your water, 16 ounces. You're already way close to that goal, and you do it without even thinking, and then boom, it becomes part of your routine, right? So that's a great way. So those are kind of my go-to tips for nutrition. And the other thing that I want to give you is don't feel like you have to be perfect. We have to have a balance between life and health. And I'm not saying that life isn't healthy, but I'm saying birthdays, going out to eat. You can always be making the best possible choices, but don't feel like you have to walk around with a 6-pack bag of pre-made meals. And if you don't do that, that you're not, working as hard as you can towards your goals, because we want this to be a lifestyle. We want to be able to sustain this over time. So you have to find that balance. There's always seasons for different things, right? So you can also definitely focus hard in on a little bit for a period of time, but make sure that you always are finding that balance and don't be hard on yourself. Going back to the very beginning. All right, I have so much to share with you guys, but I also now want to get back to your questions. Let's see. All the good alternatives for curtsy lunges and forward lunges. I would say work on your mobility so that you can get into those positions a little bit better and more comfortably. But if they don't feel good, then just do static lunges or stick with squats. But really, it's probably about your mobility. So I would say work on your mobility and then try to do it and start without any resistance. So you can just try to practice the form of body weight. And that should help quite a bit. Let's see. I'm scrolling. I see your comment, many more to come. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock going, I could talk all day. You guys are my people. Let's see. When the workout calls for light, medium, and heavy medium, what is the range? That's a good question, Jody. So it also depends. You guys, you want to find, I'm looking at your answer, what you wrote though. So I would say that 5 to 10 pounds is probably the medium, and then heavy would probably be going more towards that 12 to 20. But that's going to be also individual. Start slow, make sure you have really good form, and then you can stair step it up from there. Don't feel like if you do a workout the first time and you went a little light that it was a waste. It definitely isn't. Make sure you have good form, and then you can increase your weights. But it's going to be very individual for you, for sure. I keep making sure that doesn't click off. Let's see. I'm scrolling. Would you recommend the splits workout every day? You mean, if you're talking about muscle splits, I would recommend doing muscle splits and then switching it up every 4 to 6 weeks. If you want to do full body, I would say you could do full body 3 to 4 days a week. You just want to have adequate recovery time. So muscle splits are great because you could do lower body one day and upper body the next and give yourself that recovery every time in between. Definitely, recovery is huge. One question actually that I want to just kind of touch on, someone asked, how do I know when I need to take a recovery day? And that's such a fantastic question, because if you have a really strong mindset, you could just be go, go, go and never really take time to rest. I would say if you've been going for 3 months and you haven't taken a deload, which a deload means you kind of scale back for anywhere from 5 to 7 days and just kind of let your body truly recuperate, do that, try it, because our body accumulates a lot of lactic acid and stress and fatigue. And if you don't take time every now and then to just really rest and rejuvenate, you probably are going to start getting your gains, and then you start getting diminishing gains. So taking recovery days is definitely important. I take one active recovery every single week. And I say active because it doesn't mean that I am like, oh, today's my recovery day, I'm going to lay on the couch and not move. No, I still love to be active. I go to the beach, I go on a walk. Maybe I'm playing with my niece or nephew, something that I'm just still moving, but just a break from maybe hard strength training or HIIT. And it's also a brain break too, right? So give yourself that space to recover each week, and then definitely take those 5 to 7 days every now and then to just fully recover and sleep and get all of the recovery so you can come back even stronger. Great questions. What do I eat before my workouts? So I eat very, 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 very weird. No, I don't eat weird. But I always say that my major in college just kind of ruined food, because I look at food as fuel. So I always have a really good protein source, a really good carbohydrate source, and veggies. So no matter what I'm eating for, whether it's just a meal because I'm hungry or it's before a workout, that's literally how I prioritize my meals. If I'm gonna do a workout and I'm hungry, but it's really close to the workout, I try to not have a huge quantity of food. So I might do a shake with not that much liquid, so you don't have a bunch rolling around. And then another thing is banana and peanut butter or almond butter is a really good source of quick packed energy, and it's not a ton of volume of food. So I will kind of go with that for a snack if I need some quick energy and I don't want to be super full. Let's see what else. I love all your questions, you guys. These are incredible, and I'm so excited to be here to answer all of them. Is it good to eat bread every day? You know what? Bread is not the enemy. So it's not good or bad to eat bread every day. If you like bread, then include bread in your diet. If it makes you feel good, then you feel good on it. Sometimes people don't feel great with bread. I think a lot of people get confused with a gluten allergy. There are people that react negatively to gluten. Here's the biggest tip I can give you around what to eat. Start to pay attention to how you feel. I think that overall can kind of transcend through everything, through exercise, through what you eat. Just really start to be in tune with your body, because your body will communicate with you. And I feel like a lot of times we get really good at ignoring our body's signs, right? So try to just be really mindful and think about how you feel after a meal. If you feel great with that, then keep going. But everybody's different, so it might react differently to you. And variety is also really good, because our gut microbiome, you want a really good mix. So you want to make sure that you're also getting a good variety, and that's fruits and veggies and different carb sources. But bread's not bad. I don't typically eat bread, but it's just because I don't like bread. I actually would prefer having sweet potatoes. So it's just personal preference. But food is food. There's no good food. There's no bad food. That's another thing. There's no bad food. There's just healthier options. Let's see what else. These are great. Meal planning. Oh, I love that one, Jessica. Okay, here's how I meal prep. 2 times a week, and I'm just going to give you what I do, and you can see if it works with you. I meal prep 2 times a week. I prepare everything in bulk. So I typically will prepare chicken. I love ground turkey. I might hard boil eggs, and I just make sure I have protein sources readily available. I will also turn on the oven, and I'll roast sweet potatoes, veggies, and I cut everything up, and I have it just in large containers ready to go. And the reason I do it twice a week is so if I want to change my mind about what I want to eat, I'm not doing it once a week, I'm doing it twice, and so that food doesn't spoil. So I just prioritize that twice a week, and then every day you have everything readily available. And I prep without any spices or sauces. And then I have my go-to spices and sauces that I like, so that when I'm putting my meals together each day, I can just switch it up as far as flavor and variety. So that's how I've done it for years and years and years. For those of you guys that don't know, I actually did do fitness competitions for a little bit, and so I learned how to be really methodical with my meal prepping, and then I've been able to just adapt that to everyday life, just including more variety in what you like. So that is my go-to meal prep strategy. Let's keep going. Let's see. Looking through. Keep looking. I want to make sure I'm getting stuff that has a lot of variety. Oh, I like it. Thank you, Jessica. It is like you don't even think about that sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, like a little cumin, or maybe tomorrow you want to do a little turmeric. I mean, you have all these options every single day, so it's great. And I love different taco sauces or spice. If you like spice, I mean, there's like a plethora of spicy sauces you can do. What are your number of recommendations for the number of HIIT workouts you could do a week? So I touched on this in the beginning, and I just want to share. I'm actually going to grab a sip of water. Keep chatting, and I had coffee before. Okay, so I look at cardio as supplemental. You don't want to necessarily be trying to burn calories if you're trying to affect the scale. I would do that more with consistency of diet and strength training, and then just mix in your cardio for heart health and fun. So HIIT training, I would say if you are a beginner, start with 1 to 2, an intermediate 2 to 3, and if you are advanced and you love it, 4. But make sure that you're just not overtaxing your body. You want to make sure that you're also prioritizing your strength. But HIIT is one of the best ways to get cardiovascular training and not necessarily impact your strength gains as much. There's just research that HIIT is a little bit more muscle preserving. So it is a go-to of mine, definitely. I like to mix in HIIT for sure. Let's see. Oh, weights or cardio, what's better for losing fat? So that kind of touches on the last one. I would say strength training is always a priority for me and for the clients that I work with, because you want to be building your body strong, because you want to be able to move, right? So you want to be able to move in a really fluid way where you have a lot of mobility and strength and be really functional. Also, muscle on the body is definitely a health factor. So the more muscle you have on your body, your metabolism is a little bit higher, but there's a lot of research on just muscle in general, and it is kind of this secret to health where it just keeps you youthful. So I would say prioritize your strength training and then focus on your diet. Make sure you're fueling your body, but you're also really eating healthfully, and then mix in your cardio just as supplemental. But think about the health factor, and I promise everything else comes after that. So just no stress, just enjoy the process. Start to learn what is really resonating with your body, make tweaks as needed, and just commit to the fact that this is a long-term journey. This is a lifestyle. And look at this. We got this whole community where we get to do this together. It's just incredible. So kind of comes full circle with what I said at the beginning. I feel so grateful to be able to be a part of this community with you guys. All right, mindful of time. We got a couple minutes here. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Let's see. Mike, how important is incorporating stretching? It is so important, Mike. Don't skip your stretch. And in fact, I would do mobility, and you could do mobility as a warm-up, right? Because you're moving, and I would always do your stretch. So if you're doing a FitOn workout and your trainer says, all right, it's time for our cool down, don't end your video. Do your cool down. It's very, very important. And anytime you can include more into your daily routine, more the better. We all, just so you guys know, we all move in certain ways. We are my phone right here, we're like this a lot, right? So guess what gets really over tight? Pec minor, we got internal rotation of the shoulder, we have forward neck. So all of those positions, you want to be able to counteract. So adding stretching, so I always recommend stretching out your chest, stretching out your shoulders, stretching out your neck. Really, really important so that you can get the most out of the movement patterns that you're doing in your workouts. Stretching is so important. Naomi, we want more of your classes. Hey, they're coming. Don't you worry. I'm lucky enough that I get to shoot with FitOn very often. So don't you worry there. We're always going to have more workouts coming for you. All right. Let's see. We'll take one more question. Let's see. And you're welcome to all of you guys saying thank you. You're welcome. Pleasure is all mine. Okay, I'm going to finish with this one. Ab toning workouts. I got a lot of questions actually that were sent to me prior to talking about core. So core is so important, but let's think about training the core from two different mindsets. One, you want to train your core so that you have the strongest base possible so that you get the most out of your workouts. Because I'll tell you something, if your body believes that your spine is supported and stable, and that comes from really tight, strong core, it's going to give you more muscle recruitment for the rest of the muscles you're trying to train. So a tighter core means better workouts overall. So train your core for functionality and strength. And if you are then wanting to have an aesthetic goal for your core, so you want to have abs, you want to have six-pack abs, I try not to focus so much on that because let's think about the functionality first, but it's definitely a goal. Okay, abs are made in the kitchen. So strengthen your core, eat healthy, don't stress. The number one way that you're going to increase your cortisol in your body is by stressing out. So you think about it. You have a goal. You want to lose belly fat. You want six-pack abs. I don't see it yet. You're stressing out. You're creating cortisol, and cortisol deposits more fat in our midsection. So let's de-stress. Let's be mindful. FitOn has so many options for mindfulness and meditation. So breathe. Do your core workouts to build strength. Eat well because you love your body. And let's just not stress. I think that would be a great ending to today's chat. It just kind of comes full circle and what the message is that I wanted it to be for you guys. You're welcome to everybody saying thank you. I really do hope that this was of value for you, and I hope to do many, many more because I truly love to support you guys, and I'm always here. So also find me on Instagram because I definitely make it my mission to answer every single person that sends me a message. And also our community feeds in FitOn is incredible. So I'm going to be in those community feeds with you, and that is our community. So definitely look forward to that because I will be in there supporting you. And then the last thing I want to say is go get a workout in. Did you get your workout in today? It doesn't have to be hard. Get a meditation, get a stretch, get a little Tabata with me. But definitely prioritize pushing play every single day. And you guys, I can't wait to see you in your workouts and next time. Sending you all my love, and thank you so much for all of your questions. I'll see you guys next time.